Hello, my name is Matas. Today we're making pasta alla vodka with garlic bread. I really love this dish because there's so much you can do with it. Like for example, today we're gonna be adding chili oil, which I don't usually do when I make this dish. And it really just brings out a lot of flavor. We're using the professional range hood and cooktop from Ciarra appliances today. They're both great appliances. I love the induction cooking on the cooktop, and the range hood does a great job at removing smoke and other odors from your kitchen. So let's get started. First things first, let's start by boiling some water. Fill it up with around 4 quarts. I love water. So we've got 4 quarts of water. We're gonna set it down on our induction cooktop. Today we're using Ciarra's Beyond Cookware, which is a really great set of cookware from Ciarra. They come in 3 different colors. Today we have midnight blue. It's great for the induction cooktop because it's really quiet. On the cooktop itself, we're actually using the boost feature, which helps boil the water a lot quicker than a normal induction cooktop would. I started this about a minute ago and I can already see bubbles forming on the bottom. So here we have the Professional Series range hood, really high quality. I'm gonna leave it on 1. We're just boiling water, there's no smoke yet. So for the pasta today, we're gonna be using a pound of our favorite penne pasta. We're gonna be using Parmesan cheese, garlic chili oil, a shallot, garlic, vodka, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, 3 tablespoons of butter, half a tablespoon of heavy cream, some red pepper flakes, and salt. I almost forgot to salt our water. I like to make the water as salty as the ocean. Salty as I think the ocean is. I think the ocean is usually pretty salty though. For the garlic bread, we're gonna be using a baguette loaf. We're gonna be pan searing it so it'll be nice and easy to make. We'll be using some Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, and some softened butter. And maybe a bit of Parmesan cheese. It depends on how you're feeling. Today we'll be using the Ciarra knives. Their set comes with 3 knives, the chef's knife, the bread knife, and a smaller utility knife that you can use for a lot of different things. Right now, we'll be using the chef's knife on the shallot. It's made out of stainless steel, so it's really sturdy. Stays sharp for a long time. When I cut shallots, I cut both sides off, and then I cut them in half. And then I peel them because it's easier that way. I like to cut the shallots a lot like I cut onions. I'll just cut horizontally. You have to be careful not to cut your fingers. And then I do lengthwise on top. This just makes it really easy to cut. So we'll be using the 2 cloves of garlic for the pasta sauce as well. I'm just trying to break these out of here. Pasta's done, let's strain it. I'm gonna run some cold water over the pasta noodles just so it prevents it from continuing to cook. So the easiest way for me to remove shells from garlic is to just place the knife on top and press down. This just makes it like super easy to remove the shells. They just come right off. Sometimes it does split into a couple pieces, but you spend a lot less time working on the shell. I know a lot of people cook garlic differently. I just like to start chopping. So now we have it roughly chopped, and now let's move on to putting everything in the pan. So we're gonna be using Ciarra's Beyond Cookware again for the sauce. This is the saute pan. I really like this because it's got a good wall on it, so you can not only just cook like onions, shallots and stuff to soften, but also you can make sauces inside of it and it won't spill over. So it's got a lot of utility and it's a great pan. So up next, we're going to just add in the shallots and garlic and let them soften for a few minutes in the butter. You can see how quiet the pan is on the induction cooktop. You've got like a really even cooking happening here. You can see like the bubbles are completely around the whole pan, which you don't always see from different cooktops and different pans. So I just turned that on because it's getting really fragrant in here. I don't want it to smell too much. And one of the great things about it also is that the filters are actually dishwashable, so you can take them out and Just throw them in the dishwasher and put them back in right after they're done. So now we're gonna be adding in the tomato paste. We want this to just coat all of the shallots and the garlic. Also, we're gonna be putting in the red peppers with it. Starting to release some of those oils from the tomato paste. It's getting a little looser. Right now is right around the time where we would normally add that crunchy garlic chili oil. The reason we chose crunchy garlic chili oil is just because it's got a real good umami kick. Brown sugar, sesame seeds, some obviously a lot of garlic. Why not add a little bit more? All right, up next, we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vodka. Mix that in as well. Now let's add around a cup of crushed tomatoes. So we're gonna start by making a compounded butter for the garlic bread. We're going to use a 1/2 cup of unsalted softened butter. So just begin by adding it to a bowl. I'm using a small bowl. Now we're gonna add the heavy cream to the sauce, give it a nice velvety texture. Mix it in so it's smooth. All right, so to the butter, I'm going to be adding some salt, some red pepper flakes, around 1/4 teaspoon, and some Italian seasoning. And now we're gonna add a clove of garlic. Using a clean spoon, we're just going to start smashing it and mixing it all together. This is gonna taste really good on some slices of baguette, and we're just going to pan fry them. So we're not gonna use this whole thing, so I'm just gonna cut it in half. We're going to be using Ciarra's bread knife here. It's great for stuff like this, anything that needs to be cut with a serrated blade. We're gonna be using the 𝗙𝗵𝗄𝗃 frying pan for this. I'm just gonna be taking each piece and just putting a bit of compound butter on top and spreading it. Then we're gonna turn the pan on, put it face down. We're gonna put the Ciarra Induction cooktop on low just so we don't scorch the bread and burn it too quickly. We wanna get an even brown on the toast. We're just gonna let these sit on the low setting, or medium low, maybe the 4 on the cooktop. And we're gonna check them every few minutes just to see if they're at the brownness that we would like. All right, so these have been on here for like around 4 minutes and they're starting to look pretty good, toasted on one side. So you can definitely smell the garlic and the Italian seasoning. So we're gonna take those out and set them aside. So I saved some pasta water from earlier. So we're just gonna add it to the sauce to thin it out a little bit. Pasta water also helps to coat the pasta and stick to the noodles really well. Now we're gonna go ahead and grate 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. We're gonna add in 1/2 of the Parmesan cheese, fold it in, and then we're going to add the remaining amount after. So I'm just eyeballing it, just 2 1/2. Now we're gonna add in the remaining amount of Parmesan cheese. Our sauce is looking a little dry, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more pasta water to thin it out. All right, so we finished the sauce, the pasta, the garlic bread, so now all we have to do is top the pasta. So just grab a small amount, spread it evenly over your penne noodles, some Parmesan, and some roughly chopped basil. Time to try it, so super excited. That's really good. You can taste the chili oil, everything comes through, the garlic, shallots, everything. It's so delicious. Garlic bread. Wow, what a perfect combo. You guys need to try this. If you like pasta alla vodka, you definitely need to try this recipe. Thanks to Ciarra Appliances Professional Range Hood and Induction Cooktop, I was able to make this recipe super easily, and I cannot wait to share it with my friends.